One of the things we often do is things like drug testing. If you've ever had a drug test done at work, you're probably familiar with the urine test, maybe even the hair test. Well, what about this growing trend? This drug test is literally using your fingertips.
Teens, do I have your attention? Good. If you thought you were safe because mom didn't catch you drunk at that keg party last week, think again. It's a new test that gives parents and law enforcement a 3-month history of abuse of alcohol, marijuana, and other drugs using your fingernail clippings. As your nails grow, certain chemicals in drugs and alcohol bind with the keratin in your nails, keeping them trapped and detectable for longer periods of time when compared to urine tests, which can only show a 3-day history. That's 10 ways you could get clipped reaching for that six-pack.
Yeah, so the amount of time, fingernail detection up to 6 months for drugs, 3 months for alcohol, clearly a superior test. If you're looking back in time, like for instance, you're at a company and I don't know, do you use drug testing with your employees?
It depends on the business. If it's a business where the employees are going to operate machinery or they're going to drive or they're going to do something with somebody else, I want to know that they're clean. And so I'm in favor of this, not cutting your nails in public like some of these people were doing. But I'm in favor of testing in an environment where the employee is going to be making food or they're going to be driving a car or fixing something. I want to know that they're... Taking
care of children.
Yeah, that's right. I want to know that they're just doing something where there's some danger.
So is it ever difficult for you, because obviously in medicine we have what's known as false positives and false negatives. The false positives are the really scary ones, where you have a positive drug test, but the employee or individual taking the test actually didn't take a substance, because these tests aren't perfect.
So you obviously want to, in any employment situation, you want to give the person an opportunity to, number one, take a second test to clarify that there wasn't a mistake. You want them to be able to reconcile a surgery or anything that they have. And then you also want to, if you really believe that it's a current employee and they add value, give them an opportunity to redeem themselves. For me, if I did it with a current employee because I suspected it, it's not immediate termination, it's immediate what's the solution and how do we fix it over time.
Important.
If they're driving a vehicle, if they're operating machinery, then they're suspended from that activity until we have some resolution. But they don't just lose their job.
Well, too often drug testing is done in a punitive way. We know that people who tend to be addicted to drugs, people who are alcoholics, you know, it's a disease. And so I love the idea of using it as a tool to get someone help, as opposed to, oh, we caught you, you're fired.
That's right.
You know, and I think we have to be very careful, also knowing that these tests are not perfect. But I think you're going to see more of this. I think these urine tests are so misleading.
I mean, if this became, let's say, commercially available, mainstream, how do you feel about parents randomly testing their kids?
I mean, I don't know. I don't have kids, but I was a kid. I had a mother and a father. And if my mother wanted to run some test on me, it wasn't like I had a choice to say, no, I'm not doing that. She'd grab me by my ear and we'd be doing something. If parents believe that their child is in danger or in danger of hurting other people, then, you know, we want to get the kids help. They're subjected to so many vices today that you want to get them help.
It's our obligation.
It's our obligation.
Well, and I will say one of the credos in medicine is you don't order a test or do a test until you know what you're going to do with the results. And so the takeaway here is not only this is a new possibility using fingernails, but if as a parent you wanted to test your child, you have to ask yourself, what am I going to do if it's a positive result? Have to have a plan in place. Speaking of plan in place, Marcus, we had a plan to keep you with us. Would you be willing to stick around?
Yeah, I'd love to.
Awesome.
More with Marcus when we get back.